morning, children. I welcome you all for today's class. Before we concentrate on the lesson, let us learn today's Bible verse. Today's Bible verse will be Isaiah 61:7. Instead of shame and dishonor, you will enjoy a double share of honor. So, if you are facing shame and dishonor, our Savior gives us a promise that you shall have double inheritance or reward. God is able to lift you wherever you faced shame and dishonor. So, let us learn this Bible verse. Children, Isaiah 61:7. Instead of shame and dishonor, you will enjoy a double share of honor. Children, I think you all know we are learning the fourth lesson, cost and revenue analysis. So in this lesson, we are learning about the cost, meaning of cost, cost analysis, and the cost concept. And then also we were learning about the short run cost curves. They are average fixed cost, average variable cost, average cost, total fixed cost, total variable costs, marginal cost, and also the relationship between the average cost and the marginal cost. Today, we are going to learn the same lesson, or we are going to continue the same lesson. Children, the first concept which we are going to learn is long run cost curve. In the previous lesson, we have learned about the short run cost curve. But now, today we are going to learn about the long run cost curve. In the long run, all factors of production become variable. That is, most of the factors are variable. So, the existing size of the firm can be increased in the case of long run because there are no fixed inputs or fixed cost in the long run. Most of the factors are variable. So, we can change the size of the output only in the case of long run. This long run average cost is equal to long run total cost divided by the level of output, or in other words we can say LAC is equal to LTC by Q, where LAC denotes long run average cost and LTC denotes long run total cost and the Q denotes quantity of output. So, this long run average cost is derived from the short run cost curve. So, this long run cost curve they are nothing but the group of short run cost curves. So, it is the locus of points denoting the least cost of curves producing the corresponding output. This long run average cost curve is also called as plant curve, boat shape curve, planning curve, and envelope curve. Children, now we are going to learn about the revenue analysis. Before we learn the revenue analysis and the revenue concepts, we should know the meaning of revenue. What is meant by revenue? The amount of money that a producer receives in exchange for the sale of good is known as revenue. Suppose if I am going to sell any product, what is the amount which I am going to get is known as revenue. So it is also called as sales revenue. So for example, if a firm sells 10 books at rupees 100 each, then the total revenue will be 1000. So this is the meaning of revenue analysis. Children, shall we learn about the revenue concepts? There are three basic revenue concepts. They are total revenue, average revenue, and marginal revenue. Now we are going to learn about total revenue. Total revenue is the amount of income received by a firm from the sale of its product, or it is obtained by multiplying the price of the commodity by the number of units sold. Total income received by a firm by selling all the product is known as total revenue. So the formula will be TR is equal to P into Q, where TR denotes total revenue, P refers to price, and Q denotes quantity sold. For example, a cell phone company sold 100 cell phones at the price of rupees 500 each. Then the total revenue will be 100 into 500, that is 50,000. So 50,000 will be the total revenue. When price is constant, the behavior of the total revenue is shown in this table and also in this diagram. That is, assuming P is equal to 5. When P is equal to 5, TR is equal to PQ. That is, when we multiply price and the quantity, we get the total revenue. When the price is declining, when when it is going to decline from 10,98765, then and it can be obtained, TR total revenue can be obtained from the demand function if Q is equal to 11 minus P. When P is equal to 1, then Q is equal to 10. That means 11 minus 1 will be 11 minus 1 will be 10. So TR is equal to PQ, that is 1 into 10 is equal to 10. When P is equal to 3 and Q is equal to 8, then the total revenue will be 24. When P is equal to 10 and Q is equal to 1, total revenue is equal to 10. And now the next concept will be the average revenue. So what is average revenue? Average revenue is nothing but the revenue per unit of the commodity sold. So it is calculated by dividing the total revenue by the number of units sold. So the formula will be average revenue is equal to total revenue by Q, or in other words we can say that AR is equal to TR by Q, where AR denotes average revenue and TR denotes total revenue and Q denotes quantity of sold. So for example, if the total revenue from the sale of 5 units is rupees 30, then the average revenue will be 6. That is, the formula is TR by Q. Total revenue is 30 and the quantity is 5. So the 30 by 5 will be 6. So the average revenue is 6. So like this we calculate this average revenue. So children, the next concept will be the marginal revenue. So marginal revenue is nothing but it is the addition made to the total revenue by the sale of an additional unit of the commodity. By selling one more unit of the commodity, what is the revenue they are going to get, and that is known as marginal revenue. Or in other words, we can say that marginal revenue is by selling one unit of commodity, what is the revenue they are going to get, that is known as marginal revenue. So marginal revenue can be found out by two methods. They are MR can be found out by dividing change in total revenue by change in quantity sold out. And the other method of estimating MR is equal to TRN minus TRN minus 1, where MR denotes marginal revenue and TRN denotes total revenue of nth item, and TRN minus 1 denotes total revenue of n minus 1th item. So this is the way of calculating marginal revenue. Children, let us learn about the relationship between AR and MR curves. So the first relationship will be constant AR and MR curve. That when price remains constant or fixed, the MR will also be constant and it will coincide with AR. Under perfect competition, as the price is uniform or fixed, AR is equal to MR and the shape will be straight line horizontal to x-axis. Thus, AR and MR schedule is given here, or it is constant. That is, in the schedule, we can see that quantity sold is from 1 to 6. When the price is rupees 5, total revenue will be P into Q. It will be 5, 10 like that. And the average revenue is also 5 and the marginal revenue is also 5. From this schedule, we can understand that when AR is constant, MR is also constant. And this relationship is called as constant AR and MR curve. Children, now the next relationship will be declining AR and MR. That is, when the firm sells large quantities at a lower price, it will reduce the price. When the firm wants to sell large quantities, then it will reduce the price. Then in that case, both AR and MR will fall, but the fall in MR will be more steeper than the fall in the AR. So from this it is to be noted that MR will be lower than AR. Both AR and MR will be sloping downwards straight from left to right. The MR curve divides the distance between AR curve and y-axis into two equal parts. But the decline in AR need not be a straight line. So this is the second relationship, declining AR and MR. Relationship among TR, AR and MR curves. When marginal revenue is positive, total revenue rises. When MR is 0, total revenue becomes maximum. When marginal revenue becomes negative, total revenue starts falling. When AR and MR both are falling, then MR falls at a faster rate than AR. This is the relationship among TR, AR and MR curves. Children, now the last concept will be the total revenue, AR and MR, and the elasticity of demand. As you all know the meaning of elasticity of demand. So the relationship between the AR curve and MR curve depends upon the elasticity of AR curve. So this AR is nothing but DD is equal to price. Or so when price elasticity of demand is greater than 1, then the marginal revenue is positive and total revenue is increasing. When price elasticity of demand is less than 1, marginal revenue is negative and total revenue is decreasing. When price elasticity of demand is equal to 1, marginal revenue is equal to 0 and total revenue is maximum and constant. So it is to be noted that the output range of 1 to 5, the price elasticity of demand is greater than 1 according to the total outlay method. TR is increasing and MR is positive. And output range of 5 to 6, the elasticity of demand is equal to 1. So the TR is maximum and MR is equal to 0. As the output range of 6 units to 10 units, the price elasticity of demand is less than unity. The price is less than unity, hence TR is decreasing and MR is negative. So this is the relationship between TR, AR, MR and the elasticity of demand. Then shall we recall whatever we have learned today? We have learned long run cost curve, revenue analysis and the revenue concepts. There are 3 basic concepts. They are total revenue, marginal revenue and the average revenue, and the relationship among the AR and MR curve, that is constant AR and MR and the declining AR and MR, and the relationship among total revenue, AR and MR curves, and the relationship among the AR, MR, total revenue and the elasticity of demand. I hope you would have understood this lesson, children. Please go through it and read it properly. Children, how are you all? Are you all fine? Are you all happy? I think today your teacher has finished your cost and revenue analysis. So, I have come to give you the homework. Okay? So, you will write all the paragraph answers in your classwork and submit to her. Okay, children, have you understood? You will write all the paragraph answers and submit to her. Thank you, children. Bye. God bless you.